Oh, hello Aquarius. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. Thank you so much for joining me here today. If Aquarius is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Aquarius, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. High Priestess, very nice. The High Priestess is the waxing moon. It's the intuition. It's the third eye opening. It is the widening psychic aperture, right? It is the increase of the lunar light. So I think lately you've been experiencing a lot more psychic activity, right? Paranormal activity. I think that the downloads are coming faster and more frequently and more intense for you. It may be coming through dreams, daydreams, fantasies. It may be coming through your own divinations. It may be coming through synchronicities in tarot readings on YouTube or synchronicities out in your daily life, right? I feel like Spirit has a definite message for you. I feel that there is sort of, there's the phone's ringing, you know, and you got to answer it. You're somebody with an intense psychic life. I think you have a really rich imagination. I think that when you had a kid, you had a sort of magical experience as a child, right? And it may have been around the time of a serious illness or an injury or something kind of frightening that happened to you. I feel like maybe you were visited, you know, by an entity, by a spirit, by an angel. Yeah, you got that kind of connection. You feel like a very holy person. I don't know if you would call yourself that, but it feels like you are. Okay? It feels like you've got a lot of love in your heart. It feels like you have, that you sort of have a message of your own for the world. Yeah. Let's see what's going on. We're going to put this card into some context with some more cards. We've got a 7 of Pentacles. Okay. 5 of Pentacles. All right. 4 of Pentacles. Okay, well, that settles that then. Anytime we get a 4, we start looking for the 5. And we've got the Art or Temperance card. We've got a 3 of Swords in the future. Interesting. I feel like Spirit's sort of asking you to let something go. 3 of Swords in the future. It's a there's going to be a time where you have to deal with something from the past. That's what that is saying, okay? We've got a Prince of Cups, 5 of Swords now, a Queen of Cups, and a 6 of Pentacles. Very nice. I like that we're going from the 6 or from the 7 to the 6. I think that's very productive. It shows improvement, right? It shows a return to harmony. Yeah. So with the 7 of Pentacles, it feels like there might be something, there's a situation that's not working out anyway. Might be a family thing, might be something at work. And it seems, because of the 6 of Pentacles, it seems as if it is resulting from a lack of harmony. Okay? It feels like harmony is being restored. It kind of feels like it feels like the power's being turned back on, doesn't it? Things are dark here. It seems things aren't growing, though. Things can't grow in the dark, right? I mean, I guess some things I guess probably can, but I don't know. It needs light, right? And so here we have a restoration of the light, of the harmony, of the brightness. It's saying that there is light at the end of the tunnel, and it's saying that, you know, something is sort of turning the grow lights back on. Okay, and I think that's a very good thing. Now we're going to select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. Someone in your life worked in fast food. You either did, or someone close to you works with food. It's fast food, but it's like casual dining, I guess, is what they call it, yeah? We're going to select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. It's going to go right here. We're going to put, I'm going to do something special for you, Aquarius. It really is Frankenduck's turn, and not to cut in front of Frankenduck, but I want to give you our octopus. We don't have a name for the octopus yet. Could call it Cthulhu or something similar, but maybe you can help me name the octopus. Yeah, it's a new addition to our little family of friends here for our mystery card, but we're going to set them both over there. We're not going to look at that card until the end, but it will tie everything together and it will give us the confirmation that we need. If you have a prediction about that card, please put it down in the comments. Let's do it together. Let's practice our intuition. Every chance we get, it's a very good idea. Okay. Let's take a look around the room. Major arcana, we've got a couple. Okay. We've got the art card, and we've got the, obviously, the high priestess, right? So what we're looking at with the art card, to me, it's temperance in the form of not so much of moderation, not so much in terms of trying to find the middle road, you know. To me, this is a card of really being in the kitchen, and maybe that's, you know, it's obviously connected with that restaurant energy I'm feeling with you, the casual dining. But this is kind of like the pressure cooker. This is the challenges of life. This is the furnace wherein metals are heated up, and then they're brought out and they're banged around with a hammer, and then they're put back in the fire, and then they're yanked out again. And that's the process of strengthening that metal, forging steel, right? So I feel like Spirit is trying to show you some of the reasons why you've been going through what seems to be a physical or financial difficulty lately. Okay? You've been in the pressure cooker. You've been in the kitchen. You've been in the furnace. Okay? And there's something with this earth energy that is really really important. I think this is the situation going on with you, having to do with either finances or maybe health. Now, I'm not a doctor or a financial advisor, if you can believe it. So this isn't a diagnosis. This isn't a prognosis. This is not any kind of financial advice. But the way I look at it, it feels like the physical stuff, the stuff going on in your material world, is what is affecting your ability to kind of hear the message from Spirit. It's affecting your ability to deal with certain relationships, certain things in your heart and mind. Mind, heart, and of course, body, right? So we don't have any fire energy. And I think we need some maybe in the mystery card. This is enough fire. Right? This is the Sagittarius energy. This is the Art or Temperance card. Rules the sign of Sagittarius. We got some fire energy. In fact, we got a lot of fire. You're being forged in this fire. So maybe we don't really need any more. I think what the message there is that this isn't something for you to struggle against. This isn't something that you have to fight. It's kind of like, you know, when the sword is being forged in the furnace, the sword's not arguing. The sword's not fighting. You know, when we have the steel, it's not complaining about its circumstances. It's just enduring what it has to endure until it's done, right? And so I feel like it's kind of, this is spirit sort of cooking you, right? Cooking your soul. You know, I think that by struggling against it, we kind of make it worse. But what we've got to do is listen to what Spirit is telling you, because there's something going on in your memory. There's something that you are kind of being asked to let go of from your past, whether it's a relationship or some sort of I don't know if it's a failure or if it's maybe even it's a success, right? Something that you used to have that you don't have anymore. And Spirit's kind of saying we've got to let go of that. So we have obviously our major arcana. We don't have any fire. We've got our water cards. We've got our air cards. And then we obviously have our earth cards. So I think that the situation going on with the earth energy is sort of getting in the way of you doing the air and water stuff. Okay? In other words, when you're having financial difficulties, it's difficult to really figure out our relationships. The physical difficulties sort of bleed over into our relationships, into our thoughts and feelings. right? When things aren't working out so well in the external world, it starts affecting us mentally and emotionally. And then, of course, when we're affected mentally and emotionally and we're stressed out, right, which we see, stress, physical stress and mental stress, these two positions of the dove and serpent spread, these two positions are intimately connected. And this is what we have, is that feedback loop. Something's going on with the body or the finances or the physical world, it affects the mind. The more stressed out the mind gets, of course, the more things start kind of going wrong in the physical world, or our physical health takes a toll. And then we start worrying about that. And so it really is this vicious cycle. Okay? Spirit's saying something's got to give. Something has to be really just let go of and move and transcend it ultimately. And of course, we have the water energy, which, I think really are showing the difficulty of you letting go of whatever this thing is. Okay? Now, Spirit's saying that you have a very unique taste in music, right? That you like a lot of things that other people don't like. Yeah. And that's funny because I don't know, maybe I was talking about that with you, Aquarius. I don't know what sign it was, but I was sort of talking about that too, how I like certain types of music that other people, at least in my kind of personal physical life here, don't really tend to care for, but I like it nevertheless. But I feel that that's kind of, that's speaking to the water energy a little bit, especially with the Prince of Cups, because this is you with very fixed tastes. You like what you like. You have very specific things that you like. Maybe you're a picky eater. Maybe you're very kind of picky about the music you like. Not even necessarily picky. It's just that you know what you like, and nothing's really changing that, And so I think this is a very good energy, but we also have the Queen of Cups, which shows that there is a range, there's a whole depth of things that that you can really find and enjoy. So I wonder if there's even this idea that you're kind of clinging to something from the past because you don't like the prospect of having to find something new. I like that already. I just want to keep listening to that same album over and over and over again because I know I like it. And I know what it does to me. I know how it makes me feel. I don't want to have to go and seek out something new. It's not going to make me feel like that last one did. And there's a connection between music and memory. Music and this sort of emotional memory. Yeah. And, in my life, there are certain songs, certain artists, certain bands, not to, anyway. There is, and it may mostly two certain bands for me. Dave Matthews Band and Tool. Those are two of my favorite bands. And I think the reason why they're my favorite bands is because there was a certain time in my life where I felt so spiritually activated. Yeah. I mean, it was kind of at the beginning of, not the beginning of my spiritual journey, but I think at a really intense point where it really sort of got focused, my spiritual journey. Yeah. And those two groups were the artists, that was the music I was listening to at the time. And so now it's kind of been imprinted on my soul that those artists sort of remind me or reinvoke that feeling of that very intense spiritual time in my life. Yeah. And so there's a connection there for me. And it will always be there. And that's sort of, I like a lot of other music too that doesn't really hit the same. That some music that I listen to takes me back to an emotional time with my family, my parents, my sibling. Other music takes me back to a very sort of emotional time in, let's say, my romantic life or my work life, a lot of things like that. Music and memory is very important. I think it's important for you. This maybe not for everybody. Some people it's more about aromas or colors or, things like this. But I think for you it is music too. Yeah. The Seven of Swords feels like something in your life that's not growing the way it should, that does not feel like it's getting enough light, getting enough attention, getting enough growth, right? It's something that's sort of stagnating. Maybe this is your spiritual life. Maybe this is your spiritual practice. Maybe this is something in the physical realm. Maybe this is your financial situation. It could be something going on with you in terms of health. Okay, and again, I'm not a doctor, I'm not diagnosing anything. I'm not predicting any sort of calamities or anything. But this is something that you're already aware of. There's no harmony here. There's no light. Like somebody turned the power off somewhere. Okay? And I think the Five of Pentacles are the various ways that you've tried to remedy this. Five of Pentacles makes us a little bit worried because it feels like no matter what we do, things just haven't gotten better. And it seems as if no matter what I do, things are not going to go back to where they were back here with this 4. Again, every time we've got a 5, start looking for the 4. And the 4 was back here. The 4 is in the past. It's inaccessible to us except through memory. We can transport ourselves back there through our memory. And I think for you, it's something in the physical. It's a physical sense, some sensation. And I feel for you, it's music. That music is really the method by which you can transport yourself back to this more stable, more safe, more secure, more organized, more routine, more powerful time in your life. Whatever the 4 of Pentacles represents for you. This could be a sense of home, sense of safety. This could be a really kind of like solid state of things for you. It could be a financially like solvent state of affairs for you. This could be that time where you didn't have the financial worries. This could be a state of foundational health for you, if that's what we're talking about. And so that takes us back, right? It takes us back. But what it does is it takes us out of the present. And Spirit's trying to tell you something about this, of how to turn the lights back on. Okay? How to turn the light back. And I don't know what happened. I don't know exactly how we got to this point. I feel like you or somebody like actually saw an alien, like a UFO kind of thing. Or I don't know if that's something that you're very much into, just as like a vibe, or if you really are like, you're very serious about it. I don't really know one way or the other what's going on with that stuff. I believe firmly that the universe is full of life and full of consciousness. I don't know what form that consciousness takes or what form that life can take. I don't know if we've ever been visited by anything. I literally don't know. But I feel like you have a connection with that sort of thing in some way. Yeah. I don't know the relevance. Sometimes these details come through and they're meant as validations and confirmations, and maybe it means something special to you that sort of hits on something and you're like, oh, okay. If it's not meant for you, don't worry about it. Leave it for the next person. Okay. With the idea of the memory here and this sort of pathway that we have back to whatever this safe place was. I don't know what this was. But what it does is it takes us out of the present moment. And I think, again, Spirit is trying to tell you that you are in this darkness right now for a reason, that there is light. Something is turning the light back on for you. And the method for doing that, the method for you sort of getting to this, see, we have the 4, but the 6 is even better. We could go back to this time and and kind of imagine it and relive it, and it feels good and everything, but why not move forward and transcend and grow and expand and evolve even further? It's kind of like me when I think, okay, if I need to sort of intensify my spiritual life, my spiritual practice, I just put on some Dave Matthews Band, and I'm taken right back to that time 20 years ago, where it was that very intense and very connected time, and it had a very specific feeling tone to it. But it's not the same as me having it now. And it's not the same as me finding ways to create that now and moving forward. It's a way of me remembering what it felt like. And so there's a value to that. You know, if it puts us in the right mindset that we can start doing constructive things now to build forward and to move forward in life, then it's a very good thing. But if we're just using this as an escape, as a way of bypassing what's really going on, then I think we need to, as spirit, I think the high priestess is telling you with the Three of Pentacles, the Three of Swords in the future position, it's time to let something go. Okay, it's time. It almost feels like a snap out of it kind of moment, right? Now we're going to move over to the Path of the Serpent. As we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is free, doesn't cost anything, and it really does help out the channel. And I really do appreciate that. We're going to talk about the water, the air, and the water that's going to lead to the earth. I think it really is about allowing yourself to create some new memories, allowing yourself to associate new things with the kind of success or the kind of feeling or the kind of health that you're looking for. Because if we're cutting cutting the tie to the memory that takes us back to where we were, we have to start thinking about new associations that will get us to where we want to be. Because we can't actually go back. So if we're going to go forward, we have to maybe get out of our comfort zone. And again, the Prince of Cups is someone very fixed in their feelings, right? Very much identified with the way that they feel, very much identified with the things that they like. And in a very, maybe some of you are saying, wow, this is really a dumb reading, right? Just saying, go find some new music to listen to, you know? Find some new music, and maybe that's a good example of what we're talking about. Go find some good new music, something that you haven't heard before, that will put you in the kind of headspace or emotional space that you want to be in toward building a future, because we know how to get back to the past in our memory, right? But maybe we need some new tools to get to the future. I think there is a particular relationship that's involved here, and it's a relationship perhaps with a person. But I think even more than that, it's a relationship with the past, with that sort of memory of how good things were, right? Rather than having this forward imagination to think how good things will be, you know, or are even right now, right? So these two together are the mind and the heart that are trying to work together to visualize, and not just visualize. I don't like the word visualizing, because that seems to me limited to just obviously visual perception, right? We're talking about a full immersion in a sort of internal reality, right? Imagine yourself in the future that you want. See it, hear it, taste it, touch it, smell it, believe it, and behave in that environment, right? So when we say visualization, very rarely is it just pictures and colors, right? We have to try to have the full experience, full immersion in this thing, okay? And I think that it's really a way of activating the imagination, getting unstuck from maybe the nostalgia, getting unstuck from whatever kind of connection we have to what we had. And maybe this was a relationship. Maybe this was the safety, security, stability that you had in a romantic situation, right? And we keep going back there. Spirit's saying we got to cut the tie there. It's good to have that, yes, and it was wonderful, something, whatever. There's darkness here now. We've got to use that same mental effort, that same power of imagination to go this way, up here. This is where the light really is for you. Okay? And that means that we've got to we've got to be a little bit more fluid. This is fixed. This is saying I want to feel a certain way, and the way I feel that is with this certain person or certain thing or certain song. we've got to be a little bit more open-minded, open-hearted, right? And the Five of Swords in the position of the environment kind of shows that when we go back here to this 4 and we're sort of doing this thing, that we're almost rejecting people that are actually physically here around us. It's almost like we are sort of shunning the external world, and we are inhibiting our own interpersonal relationships because we're stuck on something from the past. And I don't know if it's a feeling, if it's some financial thing, if it's some relationship thing. We could be talking about all sort of finances here, or it could be, it's still the health thing, right? The physical well-being that we're talking about. Okay? And it's still kind of that memory of when things were okay, financially or physically or romantically or spiritually or whatever. This could be any of those things. Okay? And this is something that we have kept sacred within ourselves. It's this little box. It's like a memory box. And maybe you actually have a memory box that's related to that particular time in your life. That's full of things like that. And maybe that's where maybe there's this little cassette tape in there. Remember cassette tapes? And some other things, pictures and letters and things like that. Of the time where things were, in your mind, so much better. Okay? And we're keeping that safe, and we're not letting anything touch that. That doesn't help us solve the current problems, though. Okay? That's not forward thinking, and forward thinking is what we got to do here, because I think that when we're back here in this sort of energy, back in our memories, we really don't like people interrupting that. You know, when I'm kind of reminiscing or daydreaming, or I'm in my head, I'm fantasizing about, the good old days or something like that, and then somebody tries to call me or talk to me, or my phone rings or whatever, it's kind of frustrating. Or somebody comes and like taps you on the shoulder, or just, for instance, even when you're meditating, right? Whenever you have that sort of fixed mental energy and something from the external world disturbs you, it feels way louder than it really is. Anytime we're sort of concentrated within ourselves, just, a pin dropping on a pillow is going to sound like a thunderous roar. Okay. And so we're sort of hypersensitive right now. And I think that you're hypersensitive to your relationships, your current family, friends, maybe romantic partner even currently. Because maybe you're in a situation now where things aren't going so well. And, it doesn't mean that things are completely gone. This is not nothing. It may be dark, but it's not gone and empty. It just needs some nourishment. It needs some light. We need to let go of all of this and just say, okay, this is the issue. And let's start thinking and communicating. Let's let Spirit take the wheel. Let's flip that card upside down, right? Let's put Spirit back on top. Let's listen to Spirit as Spirit tries to guide us through this. As we start to understand and recognize that, okay, I'm here for a reason. There's a reason why things aren't perfect. There's a reason why I'm sort of suffering, why I'm in the furnace, why I'm in the pressure cooker, right? When we're down here with a 5 of Swords, it's kind of like, it's very pessimistic. It's very defeatist. It's very nihilistic even. Very, I don't know, maybe it's fatalistic. Just saying, this sucks. And there's no reason for it. And this is just, it's random, or the other way, it's not random, but that I'm being singled out for torture by the universe. That Spirit hates me, that this is, I'm just being punished for something. Well, let's flip that around. Let's not, let's get out of that feeling. Let's unfix that feeling, and let's consider the depths, right? Let's go through the whole range of emotions. There's a lot of them in there. Yeah. I got this Queen of Cups here. The Queen of Cups is really about kind of understanding what we want, understanding how we feel about things, really, how really we feel about things, okay? And understanding why and sort of at what depth those feelings are. Are we right on the surface of things where we're just seeing things kind of in their physical form, that we're just taking the sort of surface appearance of things, and that's what we're reacting to, that's what I'm feeling, is just my reaction to the surface of things, the details of what they look like, right? Rather than what they are, what their essence is. How deep are we living our emotional life? How honest are we being with our own feelings? This is the card of emotional transparency. This is the card of self-acceptance, radical self-acceptance, and radical self-love. Okay? This is kind of the card that says, I finally am going to accept that I can't get back to this Four of Pentacles. And maybe the mind's like, yeah, I don't really even want to. Because it wasn't the bee's knees after all. What I want is this. This is really what's going to make life satisfying. This is what Spirit is trying to forge you into. And now the lights are back on. Okay, but there's a mental and emotional sort of blockage that needs to be addressed. Yeah. And that's really what we've got. We've got the air and the earth. And the air in terms of, the air in terms of the sort of the rejection and this sort of the pessimism or the defeatist attitude. The air in terms of the mental energy kind of connected with the past. And of course the heart that feels like if I don't have this thing, then I've got nothing. This was the only thing I wanted, and now it's dark. It's not growing, right? The darkness has covered the face of Spirit, even, right? That it's even an inability to see and hear and understand what Spirit is telling you when this gets too much darkness here, right? So it's kind of there's a battle here between light and dark. This is the widening psychic aperture, the expanding psychic energy. And this is sort of a darkness that's sort of fighting, that's threatening really to cover that up. And we've got to just say, okay, I'm going to listen. I'm going to put Spirit back on top. I'm going to have an open mind, an open heart, and I'm going to understand, I'm going to accept that this is happening for a reason, and that I can move forward into my very best self, and I can have this very best day of, the Six of Pentacles is the best day of your life. The Six of Pentacles is, we're going, do you see that? We're going 4, 5, 6. Okay. I think we went 4, 7, and then we went 5 and 6, right? To get the harmony back, to get the, the cooperation where things are just, now things are working. Now the wheels are turning, the gears are turning, and things are happening. Right? The generator's up and running, and the light is shining. All the lights have come back on. The light, even that's shining, it's that lunar light, right? That's shining into your heart and into your mind to show you what things you need to let go of right now in order to have the Six of Pentacles, to have a very good day, to have the cooperation in your life again, and to have this feeling of success, this satisfaction that you've made it to this level. Okay? That we have recovered from whatever this seven of Pentacles is. Yeah. I want to look at the mystery card. I want the mystery card to be another major arcana energy. I don't really care which one it is. I just want another one. Yeah. If you have a prediction, put it down in the comments. Let's see what we have. 10 of Wands. 10 of Wands is a card that sometimes feels like we have too much responsibility, that the burden is just too great. There's no way I can make it. So it's a card that says we've got to ask for help sometimes. And of course, when we have a 5 of Swords like this, we don't want to ask for help. I'm annoyed with everybody. I'm frustrated with the world. That I don't have anything nice to say to anybody. Yeah? But if we let Spirit take the wheel, then I think we're going to be able to improve our relationships with other people. But also, This is the Ten of Wands. This is fire that has reached it's solidified. This is kind of like you've been forged in the fire, and now the metal is finally cooling. It's telling me that this burden, this whatever this is that's going on in your life, is almost over. So it's kind of saying don't give up, because you're almost there. Open yourself up to some assistance if you need it, right? But you're almost done cooking, right? It's almost time to take the bread out of the oven here. Okay? You're almost there. And now we're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, there's a link up top. There's one down below. New readings for Aquarius, Thursdays and Sundays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. It doesn't cost anything. And leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.